So we're here with Nathan Paulsberg and Dale Abernathy, both professional firefighters and technical rope rescue experts, as well as Sprat Level 3 operators. So we'll go through the setup of the winch, the do's and don'ts, how to rig it, how to attach it to the tripod, how to use the accessories in the case. So the mounting plate is a clamping style compression plate. It'll fit anything up to a 3-inch diameter. Once the clamping mechanism is adjusted to the diameter that you'd like, everything is going to be just wing nut control to snug it in place. So now we're going to back tie the plate to the foot of the tripod or to another stationary anchor to keep the plate from chattering up the tripod leg once there's a load on it. So really, the clamping mechanism of the plate is a positioning mechanism, whereas the full strength anchor comes from the strap. So this is actually your anchor. This is more of your spatial positioning along the leg of the tripod. Let's go ahead and load up. So there's a pin to receive either of these hooks, and then a removable pin to lock it in place. One feature to point out, we had everything set up very clean with a self-belay and the working line. Depending if you have a right-handed or left-handed operator or the course of your line, because this is fully reversible, you can orient the winch to one side or the other very easily without changing your whole system. So to load the winch, there's a fair lead here, which is going to establish an entry angle of the rope onto the drum of the winch. All of the wraps will happen in a clockwise manner. The winch will only rotate clockwise. So we start with a baseline of 3 wraps on the winch, and then through the shrouded self-tailing head, hence the LokHead. And what this does is now that rope cannot inadvertently be removed from the winch, which would put the load at risk of dropping. So we always start with a baseline of 3 wraps. The wraps are where you will gain your friction purchase on the winch. So more wraps that you have, the more rope contact you have on the drum, creating more friction. So for heavier loads, say a 2-person rescue load, you may want to go up to 4 wraps, which is the max the drum will accept. For a lighter load, especially in lowering situations where you may want to reduce the friction, you can go down to a minimum of 2 wraps. But it has to be 2 wraps is the minimum, not a single wrap. So 3 wraps is our standard baseline for about a 200-pound load. Beyond that, 4. Lighter than that, we lower out on 2. For the manual operation using the crank, it's a locking crank. This mechanism will lock it into the hub of the device, so you don't have to worry about any type of dropped item risk. These are all 2-speed winches. Using the manual version with the crank, since this is a back drive winch versus a top drive winch, now when you go clockwise, you are in the higher speed, lower torque. So roughly 13-to-1 mechanical advantage. So that would be going forward. Coming the other way counterclockwise is where you implement the 40-to-1 mechanical advantage. So lower speed, higher torque.